Jessica, you're obviously a performer, but you've also acted in several movies.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to continue to do?
That is something that I am focusing on mainly right now in my life.
Oh, you
it's
are?
a new chapter of my life. You know, I love singing and I love music, but I've always had the dreams to be a movie star. So I'm intensely in class right now.
Cool.
And I work with this amazing coach. Her name is Candace. She's a human behavior specialist, and she's unbelievable, and she's changed my life. And the work that I do in her class, I mean, it kind of blows me away, and I never loved acting as much as I do now.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's so cool to play like that.
Yeah.
And like having the freedom, because, you know, believe it or not, I was really shy.
Yeah.
And it was hard growing up. I was bullied by other girls, so it was hard for me. I was always in my shell, so it's very hard for me to open up to people.
Yeah.
So when I have a connection with someone and they kind of know me, then I'm like, ah!
Oh my God,
and they're like, okay, enough, we got it.
No, it's actually the best.
It's ridiculous.
If she ever opens up to you that way, you're blessed. Like, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. Seriously, like, it's so fun. You know, it's so fun getting to know people and stuff like that. But it's like, especially girls, especially women, really beautiful women, because you never know. Rarely do they really let their hair down and like really be themselves. And we've hung out a few times where I'm just like, because I am completely retarded and she's just as silly as me, and then some. And I'm like, I really like this girl because she just can just let herself be, you know, and be really silly. So it's like, it's one of those things. It's just magical.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love living in that freedom, you know, and through
Yeah.
my work with Candace, it's definitely allowed me to open that and kind of reveal who I am. And I don't really care if people like me or not. This is who I am.
Right.
So it attracts really, really good friends. So it's great.
Yeah.
So if you move over to acting,
Mm-hmm.
to someone like you who's already had success and been in the spotlight at a very high level, do you have to, you know, audition with the rest of people as you're moving into acting, or is this something that, you know, you have a management team that takes care of getting you in there, or are you still going out to these auditions?
I mean, it all depends, you know. I think sometimes it's a disadvantage being a Pussycat doll. People
Right.
have this idea that I'm
Yeah.
like this like sex queen walking
Right.
in there with like
Right.
garters and thigh
Yeah.
highs, and
Yeah.
I'm very opposite. That was the character I played
Yeah.
in the Pussycat Dolls, you know.
I know. It's so funny to see pictures of you like now that I
It's
know
bizarre.
you, and I'm like, that is so interesting. It's such a like two different worlds.
Yeah,
you know?
I was.
But that's a great
Yeah.
point. I mean, a lot of people at home, when they see these famous people on television, they don't realize that sometimes it's an act.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when I walk on stage, my alter ego just takes over.
Yeah.
And it's on, and I love it. I love being on stage ever since I was 3 years old, you know. But yeah, when I walk off stage, I'm just a normal girl.
Yeah.
So you
I'm not really stuck up.
Yeah.
I'm not really a bitch.
Yeah.
You know,
And so for acting
sometimes.
roles, you still have to go in and audition and read. And
Yeah, definitely. For acting, you know, if the opportunity presents itself that I read for producers, I do that. But, you know, I'm starting from the very beginning, and I want to be taken seriously, and I want to own the craft.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be the best I can be. So
yeah.
I'm an artist, and I love.
That means all the way through.
All the way through. I want to
Yeah.
grow. I want to
Yeah.
be amazing at it. I want to like kick ass at it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how I became a good singer and a dancer. And it takes work, and I'm willing to put the work in because it's amazing and it fulfills my soul. you know?
Yeah, and I think I was saying this on a break, but she could really sing. Like we were. These are the fun things. Is like we hang out sometimes. At
No Milli Vanilli here,
Friends'
huh?
houses and stuff like that, where we're being silly, and she was singing this song. It was so freaking funny. It was the pool, what was it? The
Pool mascot.
Pool mascot. She was just impromptu, like just making up this thing about the pool mascot, and you
My
Have you
friend-
warmed up? Do you want to belt out a few
Oh my
words?
God, maybe in a little bit.
the pool
I
mascot.
don't remember the pool mascot song.
I know
though.
it was like one of those things where you just went on a riff and just
Yeah.
went off, and it was hysterical.
Well, it was
but
about
she's-
my friend who, he's a pool mascot. I mean, every time I go to a pool in Hollywood, he's there, all tan and shiny with.
Right.
A pool mascot?
He's the pool mascot.
He's the pool mascot, you know, like basically.
They hire him to be at the pool.
We don't have pool mascots on the west side, apparently.
But what was funny was
Adam.
that she then just made up this song and just started like just singing the song as like at the top of her lungs, and we are rolling like, I mean,
That's
seriously,
great.
it was so funny. And she's just like just riffing, she's like rapping this song, you know. I was dying. But also at the same time, I've never heard her sing just solo, and I was sitting there and I was like, you can really sing. I was like, you can actually really sing. I was like, damn, all right, here we go. I mean, because, you know, sometimes, I mean, it's music so easily produced these days that, you know, they could take someone who can't really sing, make them sound much better.
Of course.
And that was an environment when there was no help whatsoever, and I was like, okay. Yeah,
well, and that's the thing too, as a singer. I mean, I grow every single day, and that's why I love singing, is that I see the difference and the change. I work with Ron Anderson, my vocal coach. He's unbelievable. Yeah. And you have to practice. Right. And when I started the Pussycat Dolls, I was singing and I would do auditions and I would sing, and I was kind of a singer, but with the Pussycat Dolls, it developed me into a singer. Sure. And I learned so much from Nicole, like crazy amounts of like technique and just the way she would hold her notes, and like, I mean, I was just blown away by her. Yeah. Like, what was the like the coolest thing you ever got to do being a Pussycat Doll? Was there anything that like stood out, like the most amazing? We performed in front of the pyramids of Giza. Whoa. It was the most remarkable experience of my life. Yeah. We were doing a radio show in Sacramento, got on a private jet to Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. Yeah. We get there, we're there for 20 hours. Like, we're like just blown away. I mean, it's third world country. I mean, it's unbelievable. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to land a private jet in a third world country? I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
For 19 hours. And then it was a 19-hour flight. And we were driving to the hotel, which is right near the pyramids of Giza, and the sun was coming up, and we saw the pyramids. I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about it. And everyone in the car just was like, yeah. I mean, one thing I tell people, they're like, you know, the advice I give to people is to travel and see how magnificent this world is, especially in Cairo. I mean, it just completely changed my life. Yeah. So then, like, we did the show in front of the pyramids, and they, like, lit the pyramids like PCD. No way. It was really cool. Whoa, that's cool. That is cool. Seriously, unbelievable, yeah. That is cool. And I had strep throat, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. But I was still enjoying because it was like, wow, how could you experience that? That is amazing.